live? Yes. Ooh. Okay. All right, I'm live. Test, 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 test. What's the deal? What's the deal? Test, test, test. What's the deal? What's the deal? What's good? What's good? What's good? Test, test, test. Oh, that's too loud. Yeah, that's cool. What happened, Dejon? What did they have to say? We're going to get into that in a minute. How's my audio sounding? Can you guys hear me? Give me some palm trees in the chat. Palm trees in the chat. Is that an SFV hat? Yes, sir. What's good, Donny? Donny, I got to mod you up right quick. Let me mod Donny up right quick. Palm trees in the chat. How's my audio? Only got one mic plugged in today. Got the gain turned down. They told me to back up from the mic a little bit because it was too loud, too much echo. But palm trees in the chat, if you can hear me clearly, we about to get started. Let me add Donny as a mod. On OTB Donny, where we at? Community, no, settings, moderators. OTB Donny. Let me see. OTB Donny. Donny OTB, okay. Alright, Donny, you should be modded up. What's the deal though? How was everybody's Thanksgiving? I Can Never Give Up. Dejon is my boo. Shout out to I Can Never Give Up. Happy Friday. Happy Black Friday. I'm clear. Yo, hood vlog had too many gang disses on it. No, it didn't. It didn't have not one gang diss. Shout out to Valley Side for the merch. I'm actually getting a whole new care package today. I'm doing my LA freshman cover shoot tomorrow. 10 upcoming LA rappers. 6th year in a row. Presented by Keem Paul and Cali Plug. All right, Donny's modded up. Donny, anybody gets sexually inappropriate with me, time them out. Anything else, I'll leave to your discretion. Let's get some more people in here. Then obviously I have to respond to Crybaby Keem and the Apollo. They had my cousin on to talk shit about me. And we got to respond to that. My cousin who has 14 monthly Spotify listeners after 10 years of rapping. So we're going to talk about that. Also, I got to respond to Adam. Adam did a reaction clip to Donny's appearance on the show last week, and he said I was putting words in Donny's mouth, pause, about the shooting incident. And so he even admitted he didn't watch the full thing. He just watched the clips on Keyboard's page. So we have to pull up the part where Donny gave his take on what happened. I didn't put any words in Donny's mouth. This is Donny's opinion on what happened. He said that it's possible that there was a ricochet or whatnot, wood, concrete, XYZ. We talked about the bullet being broken into fragments. We talked about there being a hole in the floor where the shooting took place, all these different things. So it's like, I didn't force Donny to say any of those things, and I didn't put any words in Donny's mouth. This is Donny's take on what happened as it pertains to the shooting incident. So we have to respond to that momentarily. But before we do all of that, happy Black Friday. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? What's the deal? What's the deal? They said you only put the spotlight on Crip rappers. The Broad Day shooter is definitely capping. I'm not gang affiliated. I don't care what gang anyone is from. I have interviewed. Speaking of that, okay, so they said I only put the spotlight on Crip rappers, but for 5, going on 6, tomorrow makes 6 years I've been doing the LA freshman cover. We've had Bloods, Crips, all kind of gang members on the cover. We've had people from, I'm not even going to name all the gangs. We just had people from Inglewood, from Compton, from Long Beach, from different parts of LA, Bloods and Crips. I've had Bloods and Crips on the cover together. I had Go Get a KB, who's from 9-0, on the cover with Wally the Sensei and Key Richards, who's from Pyro Gangs in Compton. So that's cap. I've had Zoe Osama, who's from East Coast, on the cover with members from the other side. You get what I'm saying? Like, so that's cap. Keem would rock you. Why haven't he then? I've been talking about his dead daddy and crackhead mother all year. What's going on? What's going on? Nobody's hit my phone about anything. Niggas know who I got behind me. Niggas don't play with me. What's the deal? What we on? We taking it to some street shit? Niggas meeting up and dying or what? Or niggas just gonna cry? But we're gonna talk about that in a minute. Dejon, I need to be a mod. We gotta see I Can Never Give Up. You get a little flirtatious. You never had an Inglewood family and a rolling 60s on your cover. Nigga, this is not rap street politics and gangland and all of that shit. This is not that. Nigga, I don't go seek after, oh, I gotta make sure I have somebody from this hood and this hood on the cover. No, over the past 5 going on 6 years, I've had artists from this hood, that hood, this hood, that hood, all come together and do a peaceful photo shoot together, interview together, make content, do our thing. You hiding where? I'm outside all the time. I'm hanging out in the projects all the time. What are you talking about? I'm hiding. You got your profile name is Keem was a drunk. It needs to be Keem was a crack baby. But yeah, how was everybody's Thanksgiving? I threw down yesterday. If you watch my IG story, I threw down and it's dozens of people hitting me up asking for plates, but I think all the food is gone. I think we ate all the food. Everybody Thanksgiving was good though. I hope we about to get started. Waiting for a few more people to join in here. I'ma fuck with the chat in the meantime. Bro, please chill out before somebody hurts you. Talking about people's deceased parents. One, I've never been scary. I'm not scary. I'm not scared of anybody. So that before somebody hurts your shit doesn't move me. There's no fear in my heart. Niggas saw I got active this year. I'm the only LA podcaster to run a fade this year. And y'all talking to me like I'm scary. Everybody else just pop it. I'm the only one y'all see throw hands all year. So what are you talking about? So what are you talking about? It's cool for niggas to talk about me being gay and make gay jokes about me after I said stop, but I bring up a nigga crackhead daddy being dead, and it's, oh, Dejon, you need to stop before you get hurt. Was niggas thinking about getting hurt when they were joking about me being gay? I Can Never Give Up, Dejon, you are my man, no cuts. Man, I don't know what you look like, man. Get Swifty Blue on here, Dark Rainbow. What the fuck would me and Swifty Blue talk about? Scary ain't got nothing to do with his common sense. No. Well, common sense should tell your dumb ass that I don't give a fuck about that. When is your common sense going to kick in and realize that I don't give a fuck about that? I've been popping my shit all year. Like I said, a nigga stepped to me earlier this year and you saw what happened to him. I put tips on the nigga. I don't play that. And the niggas I roll with ain't scary either. And any nigga that think they going to step up to me in any type of violent way, we either going to fight or they going to leave stinking. Niggas going to be meeting they dead daddies. Any nigga think they gonna put their hands on me. So what are you talking about? Use your common sense. When did it ever get scary? When did it ever give scary? When did it ever give scary? When did it ever give I'm running from something? Y'all saw a nigga walk up to me and spit on me and I beat his ass. He walked away with a black eye. I walked away with no marks on my face. What are we talking about? When did it ever give scary? When did it ever give turn down fades? When did it ever give that? You got blasted by security and did spit the block on him. The security guard went to the hospital with me. It was an accident. Why do y'all want me to have fought that security guard whose gun accidentally went off on the work floor? Why do y'all think I hate that person? The security guard went to the hospital with me. Josh drove me to the hospital. The security guard drove in his own car to the hospital and sat there in the waiting room. So what are you talking about? ZG300. That ass was thinking, I wonder what happened to Dejon, and then boom, you pop up in my recommendations. I be seeing comments like that, like, what happened to Dejon? What happened to Dejon? It's like, I do a podcast every week. Like, I do a podcast every week. I get mentioned on other platforms every week. I have one of the most highest engaged LA rap platforms on Instagram. Like, yeah, you can't handle your own. You need people. You scary. Whatever you say, just know it's some project niggas that don't play about me. You snitch. I did not go get a police report. I could have. If I had went and snitched and got a police report for that shooting incident, trust me, I'd be a multimillionaire and No Jumper would be shut the fuck down. I didn't say anything. Whack 100 went on No Jumper and confirmed the shooting. Adam went and started doing interviews and started talking about the situation before I ever was on camera talking about it. So what are you talking about? You just in my chat, broke and annoying. Pray for him. Don't pray for him. You will feel better. No, I watched the Hellcat pod from there. You ate drop. That's not true. After Hellcat, we had Vashti, who used to work in No Jumper with me on the week after that. B-Tam and Vashti. And then this week was Thanksgiving. We didn't drop an episode, so I dropped the Compton Hood vlog on Thanksgiving instead. Shout out to everybody who tapped in with that. Keep running that up. Leave a comment on that. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, that like button. Whack 100 marked you out and you hung up the phone, scary dude. Whatever you say, man. I hung up the phone because I wasn't going to talk with that nigga about my sexuality. Then his artist called me crying, begging for my forgiveness, so shut up. All is well. I can't possibly be in a bad mood. I ate so much good food yesterday. I made lamb chops. I made a pot roast. I made a turkey. I didn't make ham because I don't eat ham. I made mac and cheese. I made mashed potatoes and gravy from scratch. Garlic mashed potatoes and gravy from scratch at that. I made dressing, cornbread dressing. I made candy yams. Well, no, not candy yams. Well, candy yams without the marshmallows, so still candy because they sweet. I made a peach cobbler. Is that all I made? I made collard greens. Then I made a pot of cabbage greens, and I put some spinach in it because I like spinach. Whoever filmed that vlog really dropped the ball. Yeah, I'm not going to cap the production for that hood vlog. Yeah, I agree with you there. I'm honest. Keem said TD is going to blackball you out the media. He's been saying that for the longest. Keem said that in January on What Could Go Wrong, like one of the first episodes of the year, Keem said that now that I'm done with FMW, I left FMW, nobody's ever going to fuck with me again. My career is over. He said DJ Head don't fuck with you, TD don't fuck with you, the radio station don't fuck with you, No Jumper don't fuck with you, FMW don't fuck with you, your career is over. And what did I do? I turned around and got a deal with Good Talk and Johnny Shipes and did the New York Rap Report Card. Then I turned around in June and got hired by Complex, got paid a check from Complex to do the 50 best LA rappers of all time articles and lists. So that crack baby was wrong, clearly. How did I get blackballed? How did TDE or Keem or any of them blackball me from the industry if I got paid from Complex to do like the most controversial list of the year from LA Rap? So I already had the most controversial list in LA Rap, the LA Rap Report Card. Then I get hired by this big East Coast platform to make another more controversial list that even had the game making his own list. And if I'm blackballed by TDE, why does the president of TDE follow me on Twitter? Why does Punch follow me on Twitter if I'm blackballed by TDE? Anywho. Did you actually enjoy cooking? It's exhausting. I said I wasn't going to cook this year. I told everybody I wasn't going to cook this year. Yeah, I told my family I wasn't going to cook this year. And they still somehow found their way to my house. And I knew that was going to happen. And I had the food. So I just woke up that morning and started cooking. You better not make a Chicago Rap Report Card. We don't want you in our politics. I already made that. You're an idiot. You can look it up. It got covered on many platforms out there. What happened to the album party for Auntie? She was crying because Pun didn't show up. She talked shit that whole week, because Pun didn't tell her happy birthday. Because remember, her project that I wrote like 4 or 5 songs on her project. She was crying because Pun didn't tell her happy birthday, because he didn't come to the album release party / birthday party, because he didn't repost. Nobody over there reposted her project. She was crying and upset about all of that. But you know how it is. Dejon is Lush down low undercover brother. I don't think Lush is down low. I think Lush will tell you he's a freak. Do your big one, but go back to No Jumper or have Ash Bash and Munchie pull up. I don't fuck with Ash Bash. I don't feel like me and Munchie have too much to talk about. Unless he want to talk some hip hop, of course he's welcome to do that. And I would never work at No Jumper. The furthest thing I would do is sit down with Adam and talk about the shooting incident. That's about it. Why do you protect and hold back on Pun so much? He got dirt on you. What dirt is there to have? Everybody knows I'm gay. And no, I respect Pun because of his contributions to West Coast hip hop, being a part of or managing League of Stars, managing Pun, managing G Perico early on. I always respected Pun. When I met Pun, he probably don't remember. I met Pun at a SOB release party. Him and they had active management. I think the guy's name was Stretch or something like that. And they had a roster. His partner managed all the Bay Area acts, and then Pun managed all the LA acts. And they had a SOB listening party at the Dime on Fairfax. That's also where I met Teddy Ray, my twin, rest in peace. And I just respected Pun. I at that time I think I was still managing artists. So I just respected him as an A&R, as a talent manager at the time. And so that's why you kind of hear a bit of affinity for him in my tonality when I'm speaking on him. You can never get me to say, oh, I just hate Pun. Do I agree with everything he says and does? No. But I like Pun. I naturally like Pun because he's messy. He's all about destruction and stirring up controversy and all of the good things that I really enjoy. I like those things. I like stuff like that. I like drama and arguments and I love all of it. I love all of it. Commotion and destruction. You feel me? I love it. And he gave me my nickname Dark Rainbow. So I don't hate Pun. I'm going to always have an affinity for Pun. Again, I feel like Pun could have pointed out that Keem started the issues with me, that it wasn't the other way around. It's not like I just woke up and started talking about Keem mom being a crack whore and Keem dad being dead and a dead crackhead. Keem was making nonstop gay jokes about me and I responded with that. He could have pointed that out some more, but whatever. Because you got to think, if that had happened, maybe I would have never got the Complex gig. Maybe I would have, if I was still at FMW, maybe I would have never got the Complex gig to do the 50 best LA rappers list and things like that. Maybe I wouldn't be sitting in my own office. I would still be on Fair to Say or doing up under them if that hadn't happened. So everything happened for a reason. Poetic Flacco said if he gets an executive position at Apple or Spotify, he gonna blackball you. Okay, the broad day shooter, I have to stop reading your what you're putting in the chat because you're saying a lot of nonsense. Ash Bash wants to fade. Ash Bash do not want to fade with any of my Project Homegirls. She knows them and she know I'm literally holding them back. When they saw all the shit she was posting about, oh, I don't go back and forth with niggas that like dick, and I'm not arguing with no nigga that's gay. I don't argue with gay niggas. You like dick, dude. When my homegirl saw that, they was on that. So trust me, she don't want no face. That's why she kind of on mute right now. But all right, we can get started. Let's start with the Adam stuff. Let's recap. So last week I had Donny on the stream. Bo Jackman was supposed to pull up, but he got into a car accident last week. And then he was supposed to pull up again today, but he just canceled last minute, so I don't know about all that. But I had Donny on last week. Donny, for those of you who don't know, who didn't watch the stream last Friday, Donny was an editor at No Jumper / audio engineer, camera person, all of that good stuff. He worked at No Jumper while I was there. He's been working there since 2020. He got fired a couple weeks ago. I saw that on We Starvin's page. He already been reacting to a Dan Lay podcast clips and whatnot. So I had him pull up. We had a great stream, one of my favorite streams I've done so far. What? Anywho, it was a great stream. I really, really, really enjoyed it. We got to talk hip-hop at the end, but during the stream, Donny brought up, we talked about the shooting incident. I played clips of Donny talking about the shooting incident on his own platform, and we're going to watch those after I play this Adam clip. So hold on. Adam responded to our stream saying this bullshit. 1 second. Media source. Okay. 1 second. All right, this is Adam responding before I play that.
I did see Dejon claiming that Donny said that he basically like agreed with the idea that Donny or that what's his name? That Dejon got shot. I saw Dejon trying to basically say in a comment that Donny agreed with the idea that he got shot. I didn't hear that. And in addition to that, I will tell you that is 100%. I don't believe for a second that Donny thinks that. I think that Dejon's putting words in his mouth.
All right, did y'all see that? Do I need to run that back? Yeah, why does he say Dejon? Isn't that weird? I'm going to run that back one more time in case y'all didn't see that. But why does he say Dejon? That's always bothered me. I've told him to stop saying that. Even Laura, I'll never forget, Laura was like, Adam, stop calling him Dejon. His name is Dejon, and Dejon sounds a little racist when you say it. Let me run that back one more time. Hold on. Because I just think it's hilarious how he's going to say Donny never said anything about the shooting, and then I'm about to play clips of me and Donny sitting there talking about the shooting, and I'm going to play a clip of Donny confirming the shooting happened on his own platform. And he said that months ago on his own platform, on his own streaming. I think it's Donny OTB is his YouTube. All right, here we go.
I did see Dejon claiming that Donny said that he basically like agreed with the idea that Donny or that what's his name? That Dejon got shot. I saw Dejon trying to basically say in a comment that Donny agreed with the idea that he got shot. I didn't hear that. And in addition to that, I will tell you that is 100%. I don't believe for a second that Donny thinks that. I think that Dejon's putting words in his mouth. I did see Dejon claiming that.
So he doesn't believe it. He didn't see it. Obviously, he didn't watch the whole stream. Because let's watch a video of Donny confirming that the shooting happened on his own platform. Then we're going to watch a video of Donny on my platform just last week confirming that the shooting incident did happen. So Donny has twice confirmed the shooting incident did happen on his own platform and on this very platform. Let's start with his own platform. Which one is it? Is it this one? Is it this one? Okay, this one's already pulled up. Let's start with when he's on my platform. Let's start with that. The whole narrative is that I'm making this incident up. I'm pulling it, balls out my ass. This incident never happened. Dejon just randomly got up one day and was like, I've been shot. Ooh. But in this clip, you're saying that a shooting incident did happen. It's just Dejon didn't get hit by lead. It's probably a ricochet from a piece of rock or something to that effect. My point is
maybe like a sliver or something, because in the ground you could see where it hit, and then it would have went up from, because it was like in the corner.
The entire time, I've always said the bullet shattered. They found fragments of the bullet over here, fragments of the bullet over there. So what you're saying, a piece of concrete or a piece of wood, anything could have ricocheted, and that's what hit Dejon. As an employee, should any of that be going on around me?
No,
As a civilian employee, should any of that be going on around me?
No, hell no.
And that's my whole point. One,
I mean, someone shouldn't be playing with their shit like that.
Why is the gun out on the work floor around me? If I'm sitting at the conference table, why is the security guard sitting at the conference table with his gun out in general? The whole narrative is that I'm making this incident up. I'm pulling it, balls out my ass. this incident never happened. Dejon just randomly got up one day and was like, I've been shot. Ooh. But in this clip, you're saying that a shooting incident did happen. It's just Dejon didn't get hit by lead. It's probably a ricochet from a piece of rock or something to that effect. My point is,
maybe like a sliver or something, because in the ground you can see where.
I'm very, very, very confused. Adam said that Donny never said anything about a shooting incident, but here we are having a whole conversation about it. He confirmed that it took place in the corner. There was a hole in the ground from the bullet. It's possible that you got hit with a ricochet from a piece of wood or a sliver or something, which is what I've been saying the whole time. I got grazed. When they asked me, oh, shame on you, they were like, did you get shot? I said, I got grazed. I keep saying that, I got grazed. Shot is point blank. Fuck you, Dejon. Boom, boom, bang. Whoop, you got shot. A gun goes off. It breaks into bullet fragments. It hits this, it hits that. You look down, you're bleeding. Somebody has to drive you to the hospital. You got grazed. Nobody intentionally tried to hurt you. So what is Adam talking about? Dejon want to see you dress up as Mario from Mario Brothers. What are y'all talking about? Yeah, Dejon, I hate that. I wouldn't have talked about that incident if everybody didn't talk about it first. Shout out to Donny. Donny's only talking about something that has been discussed. Again, this incident happened March 2024. This is something that's been talked about on No Jumper, FMW, Whack 100 sat on No Jumper like literally a couple weeks after it happened and exposed the situation. We talked about that last week. So again, what is Adam talking about? Donny didn't confirm. I'm putting words in Donny's mouth. No, that's Donny's take on what happened. You just sat there and watched Donny explain his take on what happened. I'm not angry. I'm sitting in my own office. I'm not angry. A shooting happened, but you didn't get hit. So why was I driven to the hospital? And why does my medical report say that I had an abrasion on my leg? My medical report from Providence Hospital in Burbank that Josh drove me to says that I came in with an abrasion on my leg. So something grazed me. Something scraped my leg, grazed my leg after the shooting. And again, like I just asked Donny, if I'm an employee, a W-9 employee at your place of business, why is a gun going off around me in the first place? Whether it hits me here, why is a gun going off around me in the first place? That right there is wrong. Stop right there. Before we get to the grades, why is a gun going off around your W-9 employee in the first place? We don't have to get into the semantics of the gun and the security guard and the woo. You don't want to have those conversations because then No Jumper will be shut the fuck down. For real. Like for real. But why is a gun going off around me? So that's my whole thing with Adam. You upset with me about this situation when the first person to tell anybody about the shooting incident on camera was Whack, off camera was Flacco and Brick Baby. They was the ones making calls to FMW. How does AD and T-Rail and Smack and all of them know about the shooting incident? I was at odds with them at the time. I had no communication with them whatsoever at that time. How do they know about it? Because you had a mole. Flacco called and told them what happened. Then he called me and told me to sue you. How did the timeline, how does everybody in the public find out about the shooting incident? It wasn't from something I posted, something I said, an interview I did. I didn't do an interview till months later in the summer. How do they know? Wax said on No Jumper and exposed it during the DW Flame show. Me and Donny played that clip last week and talked about it. So I don't understand Adam's animosity towards me, but he's not mad at Wack for exposing the situation. He's not mad at Flacco for calling AD and FMW and telling them the situation. It seems like, he fired the security guard, but it seems like he's not even mad at the security guard for firing a gun in his workplace. He's mad at the person that was sitting at a conference table, minding his business, just got done filming the news, waiting to film the Monday show. Dejon, why didn't you do more to hold Adam 22 accountable after the shooting? As I've said many times, every attorney I met with required a police report to move forward. They're like, I'm not going to take this case, or I'm not going to move forward with this case if you don't go to the police station and file a police report, or give me permission to go to the police station and file a police report on your behalf. Because it was an accident, I wasn't comfortable with that. Point blank, period. It'd be different if I was hungry, starving, homeless, or something like that. My needs are met. God is good. My needs are met. I'm sitting in my own office, my own business. I ain't rich or nothing like that, but I'm cool. I ain't calling, borrowing, asking nobody, can I borrow $50? I'm not on my ODM Slim shit. Can I borrow $80? Can I borrow $30? Da, 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 da. I'm good. I drive a nice car. I live good. Me and my roommate, we good. So, God is good. But at the end of the day, if I wanted to pursue that route, I could have. And that's why I don't understand the animosity that Adam has towards me, because I spared you. And even Donny said last week on his show, he was like, Adam is fucked up for trying to get your Instagram deleted. We starving exposed messages between him and Adam where Adam said he reported 7 no jumper clips on my IG. Hopefully they delete my page. Donnie's like, he got you fucked up. That's fucked up that he tried to do that because you could have ruined his whole operation. And I didn't. I stalled you, Adam, and you still tried to take down my Instagram. But Wack is the person who exposed the shooting incident. Flacco is the person that called FMW. Ask AD and them how they found out about the shooting. They would tell you we wasn't in communication. I was beefing with them. They was mad that I was working at No Jumper after calling them employees. I had no communication with AD, T-Rail, Smack, Pun, but they all knew about the incident like a week later. They all talked about the incident like a week or so later. They all on their show talking about Dejon got shot, shooting, security guards, woo, 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 woo. How would they know that if I'm not communicating with them? Because Flacco called. So you got snakes in your grass, but you mad at me. You mad at the person that didn't go out and ruin your business. That could have. That still could with the shit I know. That still could get you in a whole lot of trouble. A whole lot of trouble. A whole lot of trouble. The shit I know. If I get in contact with the nigga suing over the Wack situation, it's Jay Reed. Get in contact with his attorneys and slip them the information I know. They shutting that building down. Some illegal shit went down there. And you still got all this animosity towards me, won't even say my name properly. It's Dejon, motherfucker D. Who is Dejon? Dejon. That sounds like some ghetto Section 8 shit. Stop saying that shit. Dejon. I read it, Dejon. Dejon, I bet if you could do it all over again, you would have got the police report. But then y'all would be sitting here calling me snitch, and dropping rat emojis in my chat, and somebody that did something on accident would be in trouble for something they did on accident. It's not like it was done on purpose. So no, I'm comfortable with my decision. Yes, I would have a whole lot more money and my office would be way nicer, but I'm grateful. Speaking of Thanksgiving, I give thanks and I'm grateful for the office that I have. That I have a place to come outside of home where I can film. I don't have to film in my house. I can come here and film and interview artists and meet with artists and listen to music and try to build a team, and yeah. Why is the goal to be mean to people and gaslight them into opposite thinking just to get them upset? It's because that's fun to watch. You're a civilian. I know I'm a civilian. I'm a gay civilian at that. I definitely don't have to live by a street code, but I have to live by my own code. So if my code is, I know this person didn't intend to harm me, why would I go to the police on them? Again, the security guard went to the hospital with me. They didn't ride in the car with me and Josh. Josh drove me in his car, and the security guard showed up a few minutes later at the emergency room, Providence Hospital in Burbank. So the security guard was remorseful, apologized to me many times in the hospital, apologized to my family. My family showed up to the hospital. And the security guard spoke with my family and apologized to my family for what happened. That's why my family is baffled when they hear you're lying about this. My family's like, I watched blood, bro. I was in the room when blood was rolling down your leg. Like, I stood there and watched the security guard apologize to me for hurting you. So like, but whatever. Dejon, you should have done what was in your best interest, genius. Again, if I'm not on here trying to crowdfund or whatever it's called, if I'm not on here doing the damn, what's the thing people do where they raise the Kickstarter stuff and what's that program, the little website that where people donate you money? If I'm not on here asking y'all for donations, if I'm not on here, it's not a person alive that can say I've asked them to borrow $20, $10, $5. I don't borrow money from people. So if I'm not on here asking y'all for stuff, why does it matter? Just close your eyes and pretend that I sued No Jumper and I got $100 million or something like that. Like, why does it matter? I'm not a beggar. I'm not on here asking y'all for stuff. I'm not even pressing for super chats and shit like that. You can file a report without pressing charges. Either way, I was uncomfortable with doing both. I was uncomfortable with going to the police about an accident. It was an accident. I was uncomfortable with it. That's my decision. If it happened to you, you will handle it how you want to handle it. God bless. I handled that situation how I want to handle it. It happened well over a year ago. We have to move on. I'm only speaking on this because Adam is lying, saying that Donny, his former employee, didn't sit here, right here last week and confirm to you guys that the shooting incident happened. Matter of fact, we're going to play that clip one more time. GoFundMe, that's what it is. We're going to play that clip one more time before we move on to our next topic. Just so Adam can see, because he said he didn't see it. So hopefully he sees it now. And my neighbor is playing his TV at 100, and I'm finna go over and bang on his door because he's playing his TV at a fucking 100 volume. This is Donny. The whole narrative is that I'm making this incident up. I'm pulling it and falling on my ass. This incident never happened. Dejon just randomly got up one day and was like, I've been shot. Ooh. But in this clip, you're saying that a shooting incident did happen. It's just Dejon didn't get hit by lead. It's probably a ricochet from a piece of rock or something to that effect. My point is
maybe like a sliver or something, because in the ground you could see where it hit, and then it would have went up from, because it was like in the corner.
The entire time, I've always said the bullet shattered. They found fragments of the bullet over here, fragments of the bullet over there. So what you saying, a piece of concrete or a piece of wood, anything could have ricocheted, and that's what hit Dejon. As an employee, should any of that be going on around me? No, as a civilian employee, should any of that be going on around me?
No, hell no.
And that's my whole point. I
mean, someone shouldn't be playing with their shit like that.
Why is the gun out on the work floor around me? If I'm sitting at the conference table, why is the security guard sitting at the conference table with his gun out in general? The whole narrative is that I'm making this incident up. I'm pulling it. I forgot I muted my mic while I was playing that clip. I'm sorry. I said, yada mean, you on to something. 7, what's the deal? Shout out to 7. It's Big 7 in the chat, not the little one. Not the little one. What's the deal? What's the deal? Can y'all hear me? Palm trees in the chat if you can hear me. What's the deal? Test. Can y'all hear me? Test. Test. Palm trees in the chat if you can hear me. Okay, I think y'all can hear me. Palm trees in the chat. All right, we back? Because that's not even why we're here. That's not even what we're here to talk about. Sound back. All right, we in the game. Let's pull it up. Obviously, I'm here to discuss how I was brought up on the Apollo this week. They had my cousin who has 14 monthly Spotify listeners after 10 plus years, well over 10 years of rapping. 14 monthly Spotify listeners. No, we're talking about that person right now. Stop calling me Danny DeVito. It's very offensive. 14 monthly Spotify listeners. Let's play the clip, and then I'm going to pull up the monthly Spotify listeners. All right. I'm going to keyboard clips page. Bear with me. Interact. Shout out to Mr. Bankroll. He was on my freshman cover last year. Here we go. It's going to be back a couple days. It should be somewhere around here. Keem speaks on Dejon, always talking shit in the comments. Let's check it out.
Line weirdo, and it's one of those things. The same thing I'm like, even what y'all saying right now. I can't really go for everything, man, because I know I'm gonna go for everything if it's that. But so I can't go for everything. And like what he on, how the fuck do I combat that? You already fucking forgot. You right? Don't. And then that's where you stop right there.
Oh shit.
No, I'm saying though.
Air it out.
I can see this shit from a mile away. You wanna. Some people like to be punched on and everything, whether for their own personal life or they want to get like a little paycheck out of you as they think they can attach your name to this. I'm suing TDE. You know what I'm saying? I'm suing like that shit be so damn like, oh, you so whooped out. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Pain free. Like, you know, so I gotta be mindful of that shit as I'm navigating through this whole little thing. I can't really just jump off the bus on that type of thing. I can't even really. I could just text you. If it was an actual man I can respect, I would have just hit him up on the side, bro. Let's just. I don't know what it is, but like we gotta just get that out the way real quick.
So the main thing you can't respect him.
All right, so Keem can't respect me. He's being advised by someone with 14 monthly Spotify listeners after 10 plus years of rapping in this business. Anywho, Keem can't respect me, but you respect your father who smoked crack cocaine instead of being a responsible man and taking care of his kids. You admitted that you had to borrow clothes and went without food and supplies as a child, and that gave you self-esteem issues. You felt dirty because your parents were out smoking crack. And then you're saying I'm not a man. You're implying that I'm not a man because I'm gay. When I heard that your dead dad used to suck dick for crack. Like your dad and your mom used to get down on their knees and suck the same drug dealer's dick together type shit. And like swap cum in their mouths from the drug dealer in exchange for crack rocks. You don't respect me, but you respect a crack cocaine smoker who chose crack cocaine over providing for his family. And that's why he's no longer here with us in the flesh. Cool.
At all. I don't even know how to even go about it. You can't even getting the respect from him because, you know what I'm saying? You're a hoe, a different type of hoe. Like,
I'm a hoe, but your crack whore mother's a crack whore. I've never smoked crack cocaine. I've never sucked dick for crack cocaine. We can't say the same about your father. Rest in peace. We can't say the same about your crack whore mother. Happy belated birthday to that crackhead. Let's keep going.
Like you want to be slapped on SmackDown. That's when you got to be the bigger person. And that's what I'm saying, but it looks crazy.
And this is my take, real quick. It's a lot to address. This is my take on John. A lot of you guys don't know, I know John outside of this podcast space. And right there, he said, that's when you got to be the bigger person. Making it seem like Keem didn't start this issue with him and I. I know John outside of this podcast space. In fact, I've never podcasted with John. I've never seen him in a podcast setting. The only time I've seen John was outside of podcasting. John has an openly gay relative who I respect, love, consider a friend. So it's all respect. But John has an openly gay relative, a close relative that's openly gay. If John's openly gay relative was on a podcast getting picked on and joked about and clowned on nonstop for being gay, why are my neighbors making so much noise? If John's openly gay relative was on a podcast getting picked on, clowned on, and joked about for being gay, nonstop, and one day said, hey y'all, I want y'all to stop the gay jokes, no more gay jokes, I'm tired of the gay jokes, stop it, I'm not comfortable with it no more. And Keem or anybody else on that podcast kept making the gay jokes, how would John feel? Would he still feel like the other person is the bigger person? Or would he feel like his relative has the right to crash out? Because that's what happened. Keem and Apollo was calling me mooks and saying I wanted to sleep with T-Rail and I was flirting with Pun and all these gay jokes nonstop. And at one point I went on Shame on You and I said, stop. I said stop with all the gay jokes. I can pull that up. I can pull that up right now. I can pull that up right the fuck now. Don't take my word for it. A year ago, 29,000 views. No more gay jokes. Don't shame me for being gay. Dejon is tired of the gay jokes. I went on Shame on You. That's the show with the owners of the platform and told them no more gay jokes. Don't shame me for being gay. And guess who didn't listen? Guess who said, you a bitch, I'm going to keep going anyway, even though you said stop. This crack baby. So I crashed out. So again, back to John with all this, oh, you should be the bigger person, you should be the bigger person shit. I understand it's your friend, and it's the only reason we know you, who you are in this space. It's the only way you get to be on camera in this space is because of Keem. But right is right and wrong is wrong. You got to call a ball, or strike, and spare, however the saying go. You got to call it down the middle, brother. Your friend is wrong. He started with me. I didn't wake up one day and start talking about his dead daddy being a crackhead and his crack whore mother being a crack whore. I didn't start off like that. They kept calling me mooks and kept making gay jokes about me and gay insults and gay slurs and big mama house and big gender after I said stop. Once I went on Shame on You and said stop with the gay jokes, just like I just proved, that should have been it. It should be respecting me as a man. Hey, he don't really like y'all playing with him like that. He don't really know y'all like that. I've met Keem once or twice my entire life. You don't get to play with me like that, bro. I don't know you. You a stranger. That's weird to me. You want to fuck me or something? Why are you always bringing up my sexuality? Every conversation Keem and Apollo have about me, my sexuality got to come up. That's weird. That is weird. I know this nigga Keem bitch got to feel weird as fuck that her nigga arch nemesis is a gay nigga. Your man beefs with a gay nigga. It's bad enough she got to get up and be a CNA and go to a hospital and wipe old people's ass and give them baths and shit like that while her nigga pulling up to a podcast for free every week. But then she got to look online and see her nigga beefing with a gay nigga? You beef with a gay nigga, Keem. Like, just sit back and look at your life. You're beefing with a gay nigga. For almost a year, you've been beefing with a gay nigga because you couldn't stop talking about his sexuality. It sounds flirtatious. It sounds freaky. It just sounds very, very freaky. 7 said, I'm not going to lie. When somebody hit me low, I go lower. And that's all it is. That's all it is. I said, stop making gay jokes about me. He went on back on Fig in front of T-Rail. AD was there that day and called me Big Mama House, Big Gender, gay nigga this, gay nigga that. I said, bet. Your dead daddy smoked crack. Your crack whore mother smoked crack. That hurts, right? You don't like how that sounds. I made that nigga say he was going to quit podcasting. That nigga said he got depressed on the anniversary of his dead daddy and that he was going to stop podcasting because all his friends at FMW kept promoting me and engaging with me and calling me on the show and talking about me on the show, and they was playing my diss record. Remember, they played my diss record on Ace Boys, and Trey gave it an A, Rios gave it an A, Pun gave it a C+. He was mad about that. He said he was going to quit podding. He said he got real sad in his feelings on his dad anniversary, I guess the past anniversary or whatnot, and he was going to quit podcasting. So now you know how it feels when somebody is crossing a line, when somebody is violating you verbally. I wanted you to feel that way. What the fuck? I don't want to hug you. You make gay jokes about me after I say stop. I'm supposed to hug you and pray for you and wish you well? No, nigga. I'ma violate you. I'ma treat you the same way you treat me. If I say stop making gay jokes about me and you keep going, you violate me to the 10th degree. So I'ma violate you to the 10th degree. I'ma talk about your crack whore mama and your dead crack dick sucking for crack head daddy. Period. Comparator went harder at your sexuality, but you never got at him like that. That's cap. That's cap. Comparator and I had one altercation, and I got up and walked out the room and went and talked about it with Josh. Had a whole meeting with Josh at his desk about it, and he promised me that it wouldn't happen anymore. The same way I got tired of Keem and Apollo making gay jokes about me, and I sat with the owners of the platform and told them. I just pulled up the clip, the thumbnail. So what are you talking about? You sound idiotic. Are you smoking crack with Keem's father and mother as well? Okay. But yeah, let's get back to the clip. Who cares about what someone's sexuality is? It only matters if you're a good person or not. That part, Donny. I'm sorry. Lush 1. I'm just mad you don't do interracial. Is that Lush's real page? Lush, please stop. You already know I only date black men. I've never tried another race and yuck. All right, so let's get back to this clip.
The bigger person, this brother doing that shit for us over years.
So look,
week after week in the comments.
so if you don't,
Disrespecting my, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Pops. My mother. Yeah. Week after week, I haven't responded to that nigga one time.
It's a lie. It's a
So
lie.
it's like
You gotta
I've been
draw.
going through that, but I'm trying to, in my head some days.
And here goes Miss 14 monthly Spotify listeners. I will delete my entire social media page if you can show me one time where my cousin, my blood cousin, my mom's cousin, I should say, because she's not my generation, my mom's cousin, sat on camera while I was at FMW and said, y'all need to stop making gay jokes about my cousin, stop talking about my cousin like that, intervene in any way, talked about a line being crossed, stood up for me anyway. She never did it. It's, again, in the black community, what we're really talking about is a black issue. In the black community, it's okay to be homophobic. Let me repeat that. In the black community, it's okay to be homophobic. So to these people in their minds, Keem did nothing wrong. He was just making gay jokes about me. He was just talking about me being gay and making fun of me for being gay. So in their minds, there's nothing wrong with that because being gay is bad. It's a bad thing. It's a negative thing. It means you're not a man. You're less of a man. You dirty. You lesser than other people. You don't deserve respect. That's how it's looked at, especially in the hood, in the black community. The hood we grew up in, being gay is a negative thing. So to them, Keem being homophobic, Apollo being homophobic, them calling me mooks, you've never seen my own cousin, not one time. I was at that platform for 3-4 months. Not one time did you ever see my cousin ever say, why are y'all talking about my cousin like this? Why are y'all saying this about Dejon? What does his sexuality have to do with anything? There's a line you guys shouldn't cross. His sexuality is that line. Never said any of that. Because to her and all these other people at FMW, it's okay to make fun of someone for being gay. That's what you're supposed to do in their minds. But the second I start making fun of niggas for having crackhead parents and dead crackhead parents, oh no, that's fucked up. You can't do that. You gotta respect. That's fucked up. That's crossing the line. It's a line. It's a line. I drew a line when I said no more gay jokes, and he crossed over it. So I don't care about this line of his crackhead parents. Don't get on a podcast and tell us your parents was crackheads. How did I find that out? I didn't Google that. I didn't call around and find that out. You sat on a podcast with T-Run the Pun and said that your parents was crackheads and you grew up with dirty clothes, without food and supplies, and you felt insecure about that. And so now I'm making fun of it. The same way I sat on camera and told everybody I was gay, you make fun of that, I'm making fun of your shit. Even Stevens, eye for an eye. You mad? Do something about it, bitch. Or what? Okay, exactly. Let's keep going.
It's just like, dog, honestly, shit like that, like, I know it's gonna go bad for you. That is going bad for you, you know what I'm saying? I watch even from...
It's been going bad for me, but I'm sitting in my own office. When Apollo lost their space, Apollo lost their production space, I signed a lease for my production space. Keem filmed his content for his channel in his garage, but it's going bad for me.
Them going over there, I knew that wasn't gonna work out.
Whoever go over there, it was
But I knew that prior. I knew that prior.
Did it work out at ladies' night? Oh, okay.
I said that we
Or Ace Boys Worldwide? Both shows canceled.
was on the phone that night on the fun shit. It's not gonna work out. Nigga, spirit too corrupted. Like, you really fucked over, bro. Like,
you gotta
the
humble
fact that you
yourself.
even put...
That's the moment I wanted to stop at. I gotta humble myself. I gotta humble myself. I gotta humble myself. I gotta humble myself. Hold on. I gotta humble myself. I gotta humble myself. I have to 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 humble myself. 14 monthly listeners after over 10 years of rapping. I have to humble myself. Bitch, I did humble myself by having your low-class ghetto ass on my platform. That's when I humble myself. I need to stop being so humble, think higher of myself, be even more confident, whereas I don't have people with 14 monthly listeners on Spotify sitting on my platform. At least Ash Bash got 72. At least Ash Bash got 72. I got over 6,000. I don't even rap. I only get in the booth when I'm dissing somebody. You got 14, not 1,400, not 14,000. 14, 1-4. I fed more people for Thanksgiving yesterday than 14 people. 14 monthly Spotify listeners talking about I need to humble myself. He needs to humble himself. I did humble myself and let you be on my podcast. That was me humbling myself. I work with established poppin' LA rappers, the who's who of LA rap. From AZ Chike interviews multiple times, Blue Buzz Clan interviews multiple times, RJ, G Perico, Joe Moses, Westside Boogie, Mustard. What are you talking about? I've had them all on my platform over the years. I let you come on my platform and you got 14 monthly Spotify listeners. 14. And you talking about I need to humble myself. No, I need to stop being humble. Moving forward, I'm going to stop being humble. I don't ever want to be that humble again. I'll never want to have no female rappers or rappers on my platform that got 14 monthly Spotify listeners like you or 72 monthly Spotify listeners like Ash Bash. But I need to humble myself. I gave you a platform where you could come every week. You had a mic. You had your own segment. I used to write your segment. We ain't got to talk about, just like I wrote 4 or 5 songs on this project, your only project. Nonetheless, I need to humble myself. They got you over there shaking your ass, popping your pussy, showing your pussy on live on YouTube, showing your titties. You got a son, bitch. You got a son that's finna be in high school. He's in middle school, finna be in high school, finna be a teenager. His friends can go online and see your titties, see his mama titties, see his mama panties and pussy print and pissy underwear. They can pull that up in the Reddit just like I can pull it up in the Reddit right now if I wanted to. But that's all you good for to them. They want you to pull up, get drunk, shake your ass, act like a hoe, and embarrass our family. I gave you a platform where you could come talk about hip hop, be known for your takes, be known for what you're saying into the mic, not just for bending over and shaking your ass well into your 30s. But I need to humble myself. No, I need to stop being so humble. If I wasn't humble, I would have never sat on camera with you. Because you have 14 monthly Spotify listeners, bitch. Did I need to humble myself when I was writing your songs? When I wrote the song with Traffic, did I need to humble myself? When I wrote Hurt Nobody, did I need to humble myself? When I wrote In the Club, did I need to humble myself? You butchered it with your bullshit flow. Anything I write for you still sound trash because you don't know how to deliver it. You supposed to be auntie, but you sound like niece with that baby girl voice and giving niece with that flow. I'm like, rap with some bass, some umph, like, you know, like lit female rappers. But nonetheless, because you was over there, how you been at FMW for 2-3 years on all these shows, all these platforms, all the years, promoting your music, and you only got 14 monthly Spotify listeners? That kills me. That sends me for a loop, buddy. So I need to humble myself. You need to get your Spotify listeners up. 14. That's crazy. That's crazy. And then had the nerve to sit on my show and say we talk about hip hop too much. When I bet you wish people were sitting around talking about your music.
But it's times where we have came on the show and it's from the top to the motherfucking bottom that it's all music.
Yeah.
There's no shit that we're talking about that's going on today on the Shade Room or in the blogs. Like, it's never that type of shit. It's always about music. But it's times where we have came on the show and it's from the top to the motherfucking bottom that it's all music.
Yeah.
There's no shit that we're talking about that's going on today on the Shade Room or in the blogs. Like, it's never that type of shit. It's always about music. But it's times where we have came on the show.
So basically, she wanted to pull up, gossip, shake her ass, talk about dick and sex, get drunk. And it's like, baby, that's not that type of show. We here to talk about hip-hop topics. Who dropped the hot verse this week? This project versus that project. Who dropped a new album? Who got an album coming out? What's our thoughts on the album? Can we articulate ourselves on that matter? She didn't want to talk about, that's why she got fired. That happened a week before I fired her. I fired her because of that moment. When she said that, I knew in my head, I cannot have a credible hip-hop, West Coast hip-hop platform and have somebody sit on camera and say they don't want to talk about hip-hop. You got to go. And the very next week, what did I do? Write a letter and got her off my show. But I need to humble myself. You don't want to talk about hip-hop. When you make music, you only got 14 monthly Spotify listeners, and I still let you on my platform. But I need to humble myself. I need to humble myself. 14 monthly Spotify listeners. 14 monthly Spotify listeners, y'all. 14. She embarrassing the family. Hey, man. 14 monthly Spotify listeners. 14 monthly Spotify listeners talking about how you dating one of the biggest artists in Long Beach and got 14 monthly listeners. How you been rapping for over 10 years. Over 10 years and got 14 monthly Spotify listeners talking about I need to humble myself. 14 monthly Spotify listeners. Let's keep watching the clip. I'm sorry, y'all. Matter of fact, no, hold on. I got to pull that up one more time. I want to just make sure it say 14 because you know my vision. I want to just see it. Because, you know, I could be tripping. Maybe it say 1,400, y'all. I'm going to just sit here for a minute. and try to figure out how a bitch got 14 monthly Spotify listeners after rapping 14 years. That means you got one listener a year. Okay. I'm just trying to do the math because somebody ain't doing the math right. 14 monthly Spotify listeners telling Dejon Paul he needs to humble himself because I had you on my podcast and I wrote your songs and I was in the studio with you till 4 a.m. sometimes and I creative directed your photo shoot and designed your album cover and back cover and got all the beats for the project. But I need to humble myself. You ain't did shit for me, but I need to humble myself. No, I need to not be humble. So moving forward, 2026, my, resolution is to be less humble, to be more confident in myself and not have ghetto, low-class, rat-ass bitches like Ash Bash and Auntie with less than 100. If you got less than 100 Spotify listeners, you can't be on my show. If you got less Spotify listeners than me as a rapper, you can't be on my show. I have over 6,000, which is not a lot, but I don't rap. You have 14. Go shake ass and pop pussy and embarrass your son and show your titties and embarrass your son. They can pull it up at his school. The teachers, the other students can tease him because his mom is on the internet popping her pussy well into her 30s, titties all out. All of that for 14 monthly Spotify listeners. On a podcast, you on Ace Boys and been on all these podcasts under the FMW umbrella for 3 years. 14 monthly Spotify listeners. All that ass shaking, all that pussy popping. For what? Popping pussy only gets you so far, bitch. You're a dummy. Where's the good music? Where are the good takes? Where's the good podcasting? You have to talk about hip hop or talk about something else. You can't just pop pussy and show your titties and show your underwear and your pissy underwear and embarrass the family and embarrass your son and think you're going to make it to the top. You got to either put out some hit records, some good music, or you got to pod better. I fired you because you sat there. I just played the clip. It says you didn't want to talk about hip hop. You sat on a Day in LA podcast where we talk about LA hip hop and said you didn't want to talk about hip hop. You want to talk about shade room topics and blogs and shit like that. Bitch, this not your podcast. We don't talk about. When do we ever talk about shade room topics? Did an LA rapper make the shade room? Did the game or somebody make the shade room? Then we can talk about it. Anywho, back to the clip. I'm sorry, y'all. I might pull that 14 back up, though. I ain't gonna cap. 14 monthly Spotify listeners. That's a fucking classic. That's a classic. $14 monthly Spotify listeners. 14 monthly Spotify listeners. 14 monthly Spotify listeners. Let me play this shit. Motherfucker talk about some. Be humble yourself.
Playing with any, like, and bro got a whole pops, moms. I don't know if she got a mom's not, but he talk about his pops.
You got a mama. That's
All
what
I'm saying, I don't talk.
So if my mom is your cousin, and these people for months, before I ever said anything about a crackhead, a crack whore, or a dead crackhead daddy, for months, these people is saying nonstop gay jokes about me, calling me a mook, said I walk around FMW in a dress, trying to flirt with Pun, flirt with T-Rail, I'm trying to hit T-Rail, all this bullshit underneath my clothes. If my mama's your cousin, which she just admitted, why wouldn't you say something? Why wouldn't you be like, hey, stop talking about my little cousin like that? I respect for my cousin. That's my cousin's son. Show some respect. You guys shouldn't be talking about him like that. Woo, 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 woo. While I was at FMW, I never saw her say anything like that. Anything like that. Let's keep going though, because it don't matter, because this bitch got 14 monthly Spotify listeners and only known for shaking her ass and popping her pussy and showing her titties, embarrassing the family, embarrassing her son in front of his high school friends and stuff like that.
I ain't never said nothing about them. My spirit can't even get to that point. Like, you really fuck.
And that's why I respect you.
This dumb bitch. And Keem's lying. He's a crack baby and a liar. Keem and McWat both said that my mom could suck their dick. They said that October 2024 while I was still at FMW. When we had the Isaiah Rashad situation. After they said, I'm trying to sleep with T-Rail and flirt with Pun, I was like, well, are y'all trying to fuck Isaiah Rashad? Y'all got a gay homie. Just because he DL and got kids and a baby mama don't mean he not gay. He still fall under the gay card. So y'all got a gay homie technically. Are y'all trying to fuck him? And what did they say? Keep the homie name on my mouth. Matter of fact, your mom can suck my dick. Tell your mom to suck my dick. That's Auntie's cousin, my mom. So, Dumb and Dumber.
And that's why I respect you, because you really ain't really went too hard on a nigga like you could have.
Go far. Please, bitch. Go far.
Anybody come on the table talking shit about my parents, my mother, and
The only reason... Because even after they did that Ladies Night episode, because the show got canceled, they brought it back from one night to talk about me, and even T-Rail sat on back on Fig and said that it was weak as fuck that they brought the show back from one episode just to talk about me the whole time, had this bitch crying. The only reason I didn't go in then is because Auntie's mom, my great aunt, called my phone and asked me not to. Let me repeat that. The only reason I didn't bang crash out on this bitch with 14 monthly Spotify listeners, is because her mom called me and told me, don't let the devil win. We got to stick together as a family. You my favorite great nephew. Ashley's just sensitive. Ashley's just sensitive. Don't take it personal. Ashley's just really, really sensitive. You can't criticize her on anything. So I chill. I let her go off on Ladies Night. And they talked all this shit about me, made all these lies up about me. Call me mentally ill, all this different stuff, didn't say nothing. But then you want to pull back up to the Apollo and sit here and say, I need to humble myself. So I just go to Spotify and say, okay, what the bitch doing? 14. Monthly Spotify listeners. You would have been in jail with 14 monthly Spotify listeners, bitch.
Me give him this much right now. He gonna get this, take this, flip this, he gonna react to this, make a thing out of this. Didn't even say his name, right? That's how thirsty he is to attach himself to.
Y'all talking about me.
Who we talking about? We ain't talking about that.
So who we talking about? But you just talked about my mom being your cousin. And, bitch, I got more Instagram followers than both Keem and Auntie. Like, what are we talking about? I have a bigger following than both of y'all. So, again, what are we talking about? This is another thing. This is my last top point on this bitch with 14 monthly Spotify listeners. On Ladies Night, she tried to say she put me on. I used her to get on. She was on before me. Y'all know Miss 14 monthly Spotify listeners for being on Ace Boys Worldwide. Y'all can help me with the timeline here. Was I not already sitting on camera with AD and T-Rail twice going viral at No Jumper before there was an Ace Boys Worldwide? Or am I mistaken? Who potted with AD and T-Rail first? Me or Miss 14 monthly Spotify listeners? I went viral with AD and T-Rail, over 200,000 views. Everybody talking about me calling them employees. That whole clip, you guys remember that interview? Classic No Jumper interview, one of the greatest moments in No Jumper history. That was years before there was ever an Ace Boys Worldwide. I don't even think it was a Community at the time. Isn't Ace Boys a spinoff of Community? So how did you put me on? How did I use you to get on? When one, I got more Spotify listeners than you. You only got 14. And two, I was doing content with your bosses on camera, going viral with your bosses way before you ever was on camera with them. That's just logic. But all right. All right. Let's see. Let's see. What's going on, man? Let them breathe. Nah, 14 monthly Spotify listeners, baby. 14 monthly Spotify listeners, man. Reg, what's the deal? Shout out to our new my Reg dog, man. We got OTB Donny in here. Dejon on Demon Time today. Gotta be, man. I held my tongue. I stalled this bitch. I fired her from the show, but I held my tongue after that because her mom called me asking me not to disrespect her, to respect her as my older cousin. She's just sensitive, woo, woo, woo. But you're going to sit on camera with this crack baby and say, I need to humble myself. Again, not one word has she said to Keem, Apollo, FMW about all the gay jokes they was making about me. She just focused on what I say in response to defend myself. Newsflash, dumb bitch. If you had stood up for me or if anybody else had stood up for me, I wouldn't have had to crash out and talk about this nigga crackhead mama, dead crackhead daddy. I only did that because nobody else would defend me. Nobody else would stand up and say, hey, like, why y'all getting at Dejon like that for being gay? Like, y'all got a problem with gay people? Y'all homophobic? Like, what's up? Like, he gay, so what? We ain't got to talk about it every day. Nobody did that. Even my own blood cousin or my mom's cousin, as she likes to put it. So I had to stand up for myself. I said it then and I'll say it now. I'm very proud of myself and thankful to myself. And I love myself for what I did, for standing up and showing Keem and showing the world. If you disrespect me, if you violate me, I'm going to disrespect you back. I'm going to violate you back. If I say no more gay jokes and you continue to make gay jokes about me, you're disrespecting me. You're no different than the nigga that spat in my face and rolled loud. And y'all saw how I treated him. This is the same thing, only verbal. I'm grateful to myself. I thank myself for having the gall to stand up because nobody else would. I'm all I got, clearly. I'm the only person who's going to say, hey, I'm tired of the gay jokes, stop them, and if you keep going, I'm going to crash out. And they kept going, so I pulled out the crack pot and cooked his crack whore mother some crack and talked about his dead, smoking, dick-sucking for crackhead daddy. And I'm going to keep doing it until he acknowledges that he started with the gay jokes and kept going with the gay jokes after I said stop. Until he admits that, until he tells the truth will set you free. Until you admit that Dejon said stop with the gay jokes and I disregarded that and kept going with the gay jokes, you're going to keep hearing me speak on your crack whore mother and dead crackhead daddy. Now what? Now what? Okay. What we looking like, chat? 7, you be holding me down. Reg Dog, you been holding me down. What's the deal? 14 monthly Spotify listeners, baby. That's right. 14 in the chat. ODM Slim, you want to go live tonight? We can. We definitely can. Dejon, you sound like Monique and Precious. When the fuck did I sound like that? Going at your own family is wild. I'm responding to, and this bitch not my family. This bitch sat there and watched her homeboys that use her to shake her ass and pop her pussy. She gets nothing in exchange. She's not getting any fans from it. Well, she got 14 fans from it. 3 years of bending over, shaking your ass, embarrassing your son, disgracing your son, having his friends up at school teasing him because his mom's a slut that's getting slutted out on camera for free. 3 years of that for 14 monthly Spotify listeners. Apparently, that's a good trade. Gummy Bears, ghost write me something. Man, I can literally go on my phone and show y'all where I would text her verses, text her hooks. I would write the shit, and the way she would deliver it, it would be waste of bars, waste of beat. I got all the beats on her tape. I went to all the studio sessions. We had sessions from 12 to 4 sometimes. Every time I was in the studio, I have the videos that can prove I'm in the studio with her, in the booth with her. You can check the time stamps of when I'm texting her verses, XYZ. It's sad though, because if I had gave that to a female rapper that actually could like catch the beat and find the beat and rap on beat and not try to rap in that squeaky baby doll voice, because that voice is just off-putting. It's like, again, your name is Auntie, so you're supposed to sound like, you know, like a mature, grown, sexy vibe, and you giving like little princess squeaky. Again, she's giving niece. When she raps, her rap name should be niece, because she rap with a squeaky baby doll voice. Auntie, and it's like, no, Auntie, like rap with, like, you feel me, like Kim, Foxy, they had a deep, sexy voice, like some when you hear Nicki or Cardi getting their bag, they deep in their voice, there's some baritone to it, they rapping hard, like she rapping this little squeaky baby doll voice, and it's not gangsta, it's not attractive, I don't assume, it just sounds kind of creepy, unless you like a pedophile, I don't see why you would be attracted to it. Maybe it's 14 pedophiles attracted to her sound, I guess. 14 monthly Spotify. Why you say she sound like JJ Fat? Because that's what she sound like. Supersonic. 14 monthly Spotify listeners. Y'all go to Spotify, check it out. I'm not capping. Man, I feel so much better. I've been holding this shit in. Somebody said when you fart, powdered donut dust comes out. That's low-key kind of funny. I've been holding this shit in for months again because, and her mom is my favorite great aunt. We have a great relationship, but her mom called me, like I think the day after we got into it or whatnot. Her mom called me, and or maybe that week. Her mom called me and was like, "Don't let the devil win. I hate to see family. This is what the devil wants. The devil want to see the family divided. Want to see y'all arguing back and forth. She's sensitive. You can't critique her in public. You can't criticize her in public. But it's like, she sat on my show. I just played y'all the clip. She sat on my show and said we talk about hip hop too much on my show. We talk about hip hop too much on a Dan Lay podcast. This dumb bitch sat on my show and said that on camera. That jeopardizes the entire integrity and credibility of the platform. How can I get people to respect my platform and see it as a credible West Coast platform if one of the hosts is sitting here saying, we talk about hip hop too much, I don't want to talk about this. Where's the shade room topics? It's like I had no choice but to get rid of her. So the next week, what did I do? I came in like, hey y'all, we finna go on break. We gotta make some changes. We gotta get the cast right. Woo, 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 woo. She started popping her shit. So I'm like, you fired in Ebonics. I fired her on camera. It was not my intention to fire her on camera. I was just saying we're going to go on break. We got to get production right. We got to get some cast right. Woo, 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 and then handle that off camera. But she started popping her shit, and you know how I am. So I fired her on camera. Boom. 14 monthly Spotify listeners. I want to see 14s in the chat. MacWop will come on this platform by summer. I like MacWop to an extent. I like MacWop because he is sassy and messy and gossipy like me. He does a lot of gay, feminine, girly shit that us gays obviously do and enjoy. That's why I like MacWop. Like he makes gay content. Like the messy Wendy Williams gossip shit, straight men don't move like that. That's why I fuck with MacWop. So if me and MacWop did put our differences to the side and sat down and gossiped about FMW and No Jumper Universe, epic. You a bozo for speaking on the dead. Well, he a bozo for speaking on my sexuality. He gay for speaking on my sexuality, talking underneath my clothes. If it's wrong to speak on the dead, it's wrong to make fun of somebody for being gay, and that's all I'm trying to explain to y'all. It's like y'all don't get that concept. And this is just my opinion, my beliefs. This is how I operate. If it's okay for you to make fun of me for being gay, then it's okay for me to make fun of your parents for smoking crack. Even Stevens. What's good for the goose, good for the gander. One's not worse than the other to me. If you making gay jokes about me after I said stop, and I'm talking about your parents being crackheads, even. To me, that's even. One's not better than the other. They're both wrong. If you wrong, I'm wrong. And I'll be wrong with you all day long. I bask in it. MacWop and Keem got a lot of underlying tension. He would definitely do it even if they even slightly fell out. Facts, Dejon. Absolutely. I almost want to give it a listen to get it up to 15. Y'all go follow Auntie on Spotify. Let's get her up to 20 monthly Spotify listeners. Let's do it up. Eye for an eye. That's facts. So where do we go from here, y'all? Let's move off of this topic. We about to wrap it up. I got my LA freshman cover shoot. 6th annual LA freshman cover shoot tomorrow. 10 up-and-coming LA rappers together on a cover presented by King Palm and Cali Plug. It's going to be dope. I got some surprises on there. Some lit up-and-coming artists, and then also some up-and-coming artists from LA you don't know about. Me and Tam back with the podcast this Wednesday. How are y'all feeling, Tam? We could close out with that. Brandon said that Tam is boring and she's podcast suicide. I'm loving Tam. How are y'all feeling about Tam on the show? Should it just be me, Tam, and a guest, or should I add in a third co-host? If so, who's the third co-host? Let's talk about the show. Fuck the Apollo. Game had a good interview with Big Boy. I saw that, and he was talking about how he was potentially trying to sign Kendrick, but you never know with Game. But all right, should it just be me and Tam, or should I add a third co-host? Or should it just be me, Tam, and a guest every week? Dub Tam. Tam is dope. Absolutely. Tam, cool. Okay, so me and Tam, no third. I could take down the seat, and it could just be me, Tam, and a guest. What's the deal? Because I feel like Tam is doing a great job. She's been showing up on time. She been partnering well. She do research. She not complaining about, oh, I don't want to talk about hip hop. You talk about hip hop too much on this hip hop platform. She not trying to bend over and shake her ass and pop her pussy and have her titties out. She not falling asleep on camera. She not missing episodes like Ash Bash. If Tam was a rapper, I think she would have more than 14 monthly Spotify listeners because she got hustle intact. Tam is the best choice you made thus far. That's good news. The hearts collide. Lush, Tam, Dejon. I think Lush will try to flirt with me too much. Tam and another girl. Then people are telling me like they don't want the show to be too female-centric. So I think if we did add a third co-host, it would need to be a guy. I think it would need to be a straight guy. Not like the rich, grinder, zestophile, podcast parasite, like gay nigga with woman beater allegations. I mean like a thoroughbred, straight, real straight, actually straight man, black man. If we do a third co-host, I think it should be a dude. Have a revolving third guest like Tay F. Third. I wouldn't mind Tay being on the show. You could try Vashti as the third mic. I think she was a good fit. I like Vashti. She was also a little bit too quiet. If she was to be a third mic, she would have to be more vocal and loud and have a bit more energy. I don't want like a low-key, boring podcast. Brandon trying to blow up Tam low-key. Yeah, so Brandon hit me up and he said that Tam was podcast suicide and she's hurting the show and nobody wants to watch her, woo, 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 woo. And then me and Brandon kind of went back and forth because I'm like, no, Tam's been doing a great job. You sound crazy. Like, she been showing up on time. She been potting her ass off. Great topic. She been posting clips. Like, she has all these great ideas for the show. She does her research. If she's not privy to something, she'll pull out her phone and Google it real quick. You've never seen Ash Bash do that. You just see her text her friends the whole episode or fall asleep or act like she uninterested, don't want to be there. As far as Miss 14 monthly Spotify listeners, all she would do is sit there and act irritated like she want to go home. Come drink the liquor and then sit there and act irritated like she want to go home because she don't want to talk about hip hop. She want to do what they do on Ace Boys Yam Camp. She want to do that. She want to do Yam Camp. So I feel like Tam is the best female co-host that Danley has had so far. Khadijah, Dejon, Tam. Who's Khadijah? Tam the one don't do too much. Okay. No, I'm rocking with Tam regardless. Regardless. Shout out to Tam. I'm just asking, should we add a third person? Should we add a third co-host to a Dan Lay podcast? And if you don't watch the podcast, don't even answer that. This is for people to actually tap in with the show. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button as well. But if you watch the show, I say Almighty, but I know the homie gonna be leaving. Yeah, Free Almighty. Well, he's not locked up yet, but I'm gonna be yelling Free Almighty. He's my favorite person I've ever podcasted with. And he's supposed to be coming on the show soon as a guest. If me and Almighty sat down and did a show together at one point, it would be so fucking viral. Our chemistry, like, I get on Almighty's nerves. I don't think anybody can irritate him the way I do. Well, maybe Brandon. But, yes, y'all need a third. Who is the third co-host? What are y'all suggestions? Who do y'all want to see sit over there? We got me, Tam. Who's the third person? And then the fourth person will be a guest. If we had a third, and I think it should be a dude. I don't think it should be me and two girls. I think it should be two guys, and it sounds weird. I think it should be two male co-hosts and a female co-host and a guest. Who is the third co-host? Who are y'all thinking? You know damn well Brandon and Tam are not gonna pot together. That's gonna be a murder scene. Tam is gonna kill that nigga. Tam brought Khadijah to No Jumper. Is Khadijah that British girl who talk like, I can't do a British accent? A spot of tea. A spot of tea. Some toast and jam. A spot of tea. That girl that films hood blogs, girl from the UK, she isn't going on gang beefs either. Okay, y'all talking about the British woman. I don't know if I can hear that accent too long. Who else? Who should be the third co-host? We're going to wrap it up with that topic. Who should be the third co-host? Who should be the third co-host? Brandon and Tam would do numbers, but Tam gonna have to like. It's gonna be bad. Jaleese. I would have Jaleese as a guest. I would have to see my chemistry with her. I would have to see my chemistry with Jaleese. And then she would also have to start fact checking her shit. If she reporting on LA shit, she gonna have to fact check her shit. And if she gets something wrong, she gonna have to retract it. Brandon and Tam, let them work out their differences. Good numbers. If I even mention to Tam that I want Brandon to be the other co-host, she's gonna say no. So that's not an option. In a perfect world, yes. Brandon, Tam, me, 3 intellectuals, very professional, knowledgeable, well-spoken, presentable individuals, but for whatever reason, Brandon and Tam just don't get along, and I can't get it. Like, he calls her a bad wench. She thinks he's a moron. It's just, I don't think that's going to work out. I don't want Tam to be in a stressful environment. I want her to feel comfortable with who she's partnering with. So I would say no. Now, if they squash their beef and they get it right, then yeah, I would love that. You and Sharp can invite the Sitches? Nope, I don't fuck with Sharp. I don't fuck with Sharp because Sharp is a coward. Sharp is not brave enough to admit that he told me to sue Adam. Him, Brick, and Flacco was all on my line late March, early April 2024 telling me to sue Adam. We had FaceTimes, calls, all of this stuff. I never talked to Sharp on the phone that consistently, that much, for that duration before the shooting incident. But afterwards, he was on my phone every day, FaceTimes every day, telling me what to do. Use this attorney, use that attorney. Don't do this, don't do that. Don't say nothing just yet. See how it plays out. Woo, woo. Sharp wanted me to sue Adam. Flacco and Brick Baby wanted me to sue Adam. The idea was I would sue Adam, No Jumper would shut down, and the niggas would start their own their FMW. Just like FMW left and started it, and you see Community, Back on Fig, Ace Boys on the wall, it would be that, but Brick Baby logo, Sharp Tank logo, a Dan LA logo on the walls, and we have our own thing after the shooting incident. But then when it came out, once I said that was the conversation being had, Sharp started lying and calling me all these S slurs and, oh, Dejon is lying, he's lying, church, he's lying. Because he wanted to stay good with Adam, only for Adam to dispose of him like the trash he is a few months later. So it's like him and Brick should have kept it real and just been like, yeah, we did tell him to sue once we found out what happened. Anybody should have sued. That's what they should have said, but instead they wanted to protect Massa, and he got booted to the curb. So they all lied to Adam face, yes. Absolutely. I literally showed Brick Baby putting me in a group chat with TMZ and doing a FaceTime call with an attorney in Florida after the shooting incident. Like, screenshots don't lie. Would you consider Flacco as a third co-host despite your differences? No. If I ever see Flacco, I'm putting hands and feet on him. There's nothing else to talk about. Brandon got to be the queen in the room. Shout out to that joke. do you have proof of Sharp doing all that stuff? I mean, I could show all the FaceTimes and phone calls I was getting around April 2024 and late March, April 2024, but not really. He just called me and told me I should sue Adam, and we had many conversations about that. But it's like, if you think I would sit up here and lie about Sharp telling me that, cool. You don't have to believe me. What difference does it make if you believe me or not? I'm just saying why I don't fuck with Sharp. I don't fuck with Sharp because when I said that him, Brick, and Flacco told me to sue Adam, he denied it and said I was lying about that. And I'm like, why would I lie about that? Why would I drag you into it and include you in the situation if you don't have to be included in it? And why was you calling me and FaceTiming me so much? Why was Brick Baby putting me in group chats with TMZ and group FaceTimes and all this different stuff if it wasn't his intention to get me to sue and do an expose interview with TMZ? Hellcat doesn't live in LA. So why are you mad? You got your own podcast now. I had my own podcast before I ever set foot on No Jumper. I've been doing a Dan Lay podcast since 2020. I always had my own platform outside of No Jumper, so I'm not mad. Only difference is now I have my own office space with a full kitchen right outside that door. What do it take to become one of your mods? I'm a big fan, bro. I got to see you in here consistently in the chat on a regular basis. So I got to see, like, outside of YouTube, you reposting the show or reposting a Daniel A content on your socials and stuff like that. Brick wanted a referral commission. On God, he most likely did. But this is my thing, and I think I said this when I was on Fair to Say. Adam, especially at that point, at that junction, he had canceled all their shows. After it got out that I had been grazed by a gun or whatnot, after the shooting incident got out, Adam canceled all the shows. T-Rail and all of them is gone. So let's say Adam got pissed off because Brick and Sharp and Flacco told me to sue him. He can't fire y'all, and that's what I was telling him. He not gonna fire you. So why you gonna sit up here and lie and say you didn't tell me to sue the nigga, and you wasn't trying to hook me up with attorneys and TMZ and woo woo woo? Brick Baby, you could walk up to that nigga and spit in his face. He's not going to fire you. He's afraid of you. Two, he needs you. Sharp, Brick, Flacco, at that point in time, he needed them to stay afloat. I was gone, T-Rail, AD, all of them left, Duno, all of them had left a few months before that. He wouldn't have survived. I think even when I left, Lush wasn't even back yet full time. So what was he going to do? We see how his streams do when he sit by himself on that channel. The numbers not adding up. So I'm like, y'all scary. Like, y'all some, like, scary-ass slave niggas protecting the master. That's how I looked at it. Because it's like, if I was them, I would be like, yeah, nigga, we told that nigga to sue you. So what? What you gonna do about it? You're not gonna fire me because you need me. But they didn't because they were scary. And then Sharp still got fired. He need Ant for protection. Now, man, Ant don't give a fuck about none of what that check say. Stetson recently said he come on your show only if could squabble up. One, I asked Stet for a fade over 10 times when I was still at Fair to Say before I quit FMW. Two, I doubt Stetson said that because I ran him off YouTube. He doesn't even make content anymore. He doesn't drop episodes. He hasn't put out content in like 2 months. So he didn't say that. Where did he say that? Twitter? I ran him off YouTube. He talked shit about my platform. He said, you don't even go live. So what did I do? I went and got this space. Yes, Stetson is the reason I went and got my office. Stetson one day on his show, on his stream, he said some bullshit like, you don't even go live, da-da-da. The former production company I was working with, for whatever reason, were incompetent and couldn't go live. We only had to do pre-recorded. So what did I do? I went and hired all new production people. I went and got this space. And now we go live on a Dan Lay podcast every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. And I get to do these individual streams as well. So I'm sure Stetson didn't say that, because where did he say it? Stet cried over a chair. It's crazy that you say that, because yesterday at Thanksgiving dinner, we were playing dominoes after eating, and a loved one, a family member, was telling me, he's like, you ruined Fair to Say, you ruined Fair to Say. I said, how? You didn't have to expose Steph for crying. I'm like, but he did cry. Like, Ella and Six confirmed that he cried. And I said, he even slipped up and said that he cried. He said, yeah, but you know that everybody can't handle that. Like, everybody can't handle the truth. So he said he's under the impression that if we kept doing Fair to Say, it would have been a multi-million-dollar show. And he said that Scott brings nothing to the show, but he was a good paperweight. Like, you just needed Scott there to keep the balance. And he was like, that show was golden and you ruined it by exposing Steph for crying. And I'm like, but Steph cried. It'd be different if I made it up and it was a lie. I feel like if I tell you exactly what happened, how is it wrong? Because if I was Stet and he was like, and I cried, and he was like, it was the other way around. If I cried and Stet talked about it on camera, I would be like, nigga, fuck you, so what? I was crying, yeah, I cried, so what? Fuck you, woo, woo, woo. We would go back and forth for 2 minutes. That'll be a clip. We back on. Why did Stet take it so personal? I don't understand it. Logically, it's not adding up. Why did he denied it vehemently, and then two, why did he take it so personal that I revealed that he cried and held up production for over an hour? Because that was my gripe. I went on A Sports Worldwide on Monday, and I said, Pun asked me how Fair to Say going. I'm like, man, there's so much drama. Stet, Illa keep arguing. They refuse to post the show on social media. And last week or the week before that, Stet cried over a chair. Remember, Pun, when you said, Illa, you sit there, Stet sit there? Once you left and Stet showed up late, Illa was sitting in his seat. He started crying and refused to film until he could sit in his seat, and he cried real tears. To me, exposing that isn't the ultimate offense. Like, to me, if the roles was reversed and I had the indecency to cry in front of my co-host and hold up production over a chair, I wouldn't be mad at one of them for repeating it. Because was you mad at Six for repeating it on his stream? Because Six went on his stream and repeated it and then called me and asked me to confirm it before I went on A Sports and talked about it. Was you upset when Illa brought it up at the Friendsgiving on camera? If you go watch that Friendsgiving vlog from last year, it had AD and T-Rail and everybody crying, laughing about it. And then when Stet walked in, we was all laughing at him, and he was wondering why we was laughing at him, because Illa had just spilled the beans about you crying to everybody. He wasn't mad at Illa, but when I repeat that you cried over a chair, oh, it's World War III and you don't want to do the show no more. So I disagree with my level when they said that show was going to be some big multi-million-dollar show if we kept going woo, 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 woo. I feel like Stet don't have that type of victory in him. I feel like if you cry over chairs, if you can't handle the truth, if somebody could tell you what you could say, what you did, repeat what you did in front of people, in front of multiple witnesses, and you can't handle that, you have a whole mental breakdown because somebody repeated what you chose to do, I don't think you was ever going to be on a successful show. But whatever. I think Dejon will whoop Flacco too. Oh, hands and feet. Flacco let somebody spit in his face and didn't do nothing about it. Bo Jackman would be a good fit for the show. I mean, Bo didn't even show up today. Bo is this supposed to be me and Bo show. The Friday stream is supposed to be me and Bo. Last week on the car accident, I understand, but Bo's not here. So, I don't know about that. Almighty is pulling up. He's pulling up to the show soon. What set you from? Okay, whatever you say. That's stupid. It was a good show. No, Fair to Say was good. Fair to Say was good. I think Stet was an amazing moderator. Illa was eye candy because she brought nothing else to the show. Her takes are PC. She's scared to offend people. Scott only pulled up once a week, but people like when him and I argue, and when he would argue with Stet. So there's that antagonist role. Fair to Say was good. I felt like, to me, how it was supposed to go, I talk about on Monday, I'm smart. So I'm talking about on Monday on A Sports Worldwide, I'm like, Stet cried. I revealed that. I exposed that. So on Tuesday, everybody is tuned in to watch the show. Because remember, we filmed Fair to Say on Tuesday. And so they would have watched it Wednesday morning. So on the next episode of Fair to Say that same week, everybody would have watched it because they were like, oh, this, that, cry, this, that, cry. Everybody's watching it. We have a few words about it. But the truth is that you cried. So it stops there. We move on. Now we got people watching the show. Because remember, before that episode, the show was doing 10,000, 12,000, 13,000, 14,000 views. I'm the one who got it up to, like, at that time, 35. Now the episode's at 50K. By revealing that Stet cried. So this nigga, and that was my whole point. This nigga wasn't even willing to reveal that he cried, even if it benefited the view count of the show. I can sit up here and talk about the shooting at No Jumper, Brick Baby. They had me talk about Brick Baby and the TMZ and the lawyer group chat and all of that shit on the show. They asked me about that on the show. They obviously talk about me being gay. Woo. I could talk. They asked me, did I sleep with Brick Baby? All of these personal things. I could sit up here and be fully vulnerable and transparent with the audience. But you don't want to talk about you crying. We can't talk about you and Illa arguing off camera all the time. How Illa called you a bitch a couple weeks ago up here and we stopped filming. And y'all didn't see that? Or how you went, one of the times you went in on Illa and made her cry and walk out and call pun. We can't talk about nobody else shit. We couldn't talk about nobody else problems, what's really going on, but mine's. Is that a good show? Or am I being good on the show? Almighty suspect Tam and Dejon over the brown bag. I know that's right. I remember when Otto Grito embarrassed Flacco because Flacco said Otto Grito's career was over, and I said, okay, that's your opinion. I said, can you name an Otto Grito song? And he couldn't. And I feel like, how are you a journalist? How are you a hip-hop media person? And you're speaking on an artist saying that their career is over, but you can't name one song from that artist. And this artist is a multi-platinum artist that's been out for 10 years. That's in that day, that's when I knew Flacco's not a hip-hop journalist. He's hip-hop police. He's into hip-hop crime. He's into crime investigation. That is his lane. Gang politics, crime investigation. He's not into hip-hop music media, hip-hop music journalism. All right, we got any other questions? I got to pee. I'm ready for lunch. I'm going to be on here for like 2-3 more minutes. Let's get these last questions in the chat. What's the deal? I want to see 14 in the chat before I go. 14 monthly Spotify listeners, man. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? Or does she really have 14 monthly Spotify listeners? $14 monthly Spotify listeners, y'all. I want to end on that note. Matter of fact, that's how we're going to end the show. And I want to apologize for my neighbors being fucking loud this entire time. And I'm definitely going to go over there and say something about it. Hold on. This is how I want to end the show, y'all. We're going to do something special. We're going to do something real special. We're going to count to 14. 14 monthly Spotify listeners. We're going to count to 14. And we're going to end this live. 14 monthly Spotify listeners. 2-3 years of being on FMW podcast. And all you got to walk away with it is 14 monthly Spotify listeners. No hit record. No classic project. No well-received project. No nothing. Just 14 monthly Spotify listeners. No music video with 1 million views. Her last music video did 1.4 thousand views or 1.5 thousand views. And it was released like 2-3 months ago. Like, what are we talking about? 14 monthly Spotify listeners, but I need to humble myself. Let's count to 14, y'all. That's how we're going to end this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14! Auntie! 14 monthly Spotify listeners after shaking that pussy on screen all them years. After embarrassing the family all them years, popping that pussy and showing them titties. 14! That's how we end the stream, baby. We out of here. Hit that like button, that comment, subscribe, all that dope stuff. A daily podcast next Wednesday. Me, Tam, and a very special guest. I'm out of here, man. Shout out to the mob. Shout out to Donny. Shout out to Seven. Shout out to Reg.